Zimbabwe is a beautiful country blessed with some of the most iconic scenery, plush green forests, iconic mountain ranges, just beautiful. Everywhere you go, beautiful, the land fertile. Mutoko is not different, or at least was not different, because now large tracts of land that used to look like this, now look like this. Large quarry pits dominate the landscape. Exploding dynamite noise is now an everyday thing. Where there used to be a tarred road, or at least decent roads, large trucks ferrying the mined granite to Europe, Asia, plow through, scraping away the last semblance of roadworthiness left. Mineral deposits are a finite resource. At some time, they will be depleted. But the questions that must be answered is, what will be left when mining operations cease? Because as the saying goes, we won't have a society if we destroy the environment. Welcome to this edition of True Story, where we dive deep into the story behind the headlines, behind the thinking, behind the headlines. A deep dive into the real truth behind the everyday stories that affect everyday people. Today, we explore the environmental impact of granite mining in Mutoko. How is it affecting the people? How will it affect future generations? Would there be a Mutoko people when the granite is gone? What does the law say? Who is responsible for making sure mining companies conduct their activities in an environmentally conscious and responsible manner? What rights do the people have? By law, through the EMMA Act, mining companies are supposed to have an Environmental Impact Assessment (EIA) certificate issued before mining commences, and this should be a public record. The EIA process must be done before mining actually commences, as it outlines the mining company's envisioned operations, their envisioned environmental effects and impacts, as well as their rehabilitation plans towards the environmental degradation they will cause. The EIA is submitted to the Environmental Management Agency, EMMA, who then issues out an EIA certificate. The EMMA Act provides for the sustainable management of natural resources and protection of the environment, the prevention of pollution and environmental degradation. That being said, let's take a look at Mutoko. We have established what is supposed to happen. Now let's look at what is happening on the ground. The EMMA Act says that holders of the reconnaissance right, exploration right, or mining right are obligated to fill up the pits, remove any unsafe structures, equipment, disused surface pipes, pump stations, and facilities from the site, and revegetation must commence during the operational stage. Open pits. Over 15 large open pits were recorded as of 2016. These open pits become a danger to the community. According to a police report at Mutoko Center, 3 adults, including a minor, died in one of the open pits between 2014 and 2016. Many more lives have been lost since. Very recent, 2021 alone, a report by ActionAid Zimbabwe states that 2 boys died by drowning in water-filled open pits left by mining companies. Not only has human lives been lost, livestock too. But what's even worse is that Mutoko is well known in economic terms for its fruit and vegetable produce such as mango, guava, tomatoes, and cabbages. But most fertile arable land has been lost to these mining operations. If the mining operations reclaim these open pits, maybe, just maybe, some villages can reclaim their dignified productive existence as horticultural producers. As for the removal of unsafe structures and equipment, Mutoko villages are lined up with dangerous debris. Overturned large haul trucks, trailers litter the landscape. Obsolete equipment is left lying around. A large portion of the forest in Mutoko is gone. Where mountain ridges stood, there are large gaping holes. Why are mountains and forests important? The springs and water from the mountains have been fundamental to the economic survival of communal people in the area. And the land, especially the mountains, provides crucial cultural domains where the dead are buried and where wildlife and livestock graze. Mining companies should be at the forefront of tree planting, future-proofing the forests, reclaiming the land from which their profit is coming from. Because when the granite is finished, the people of Mutoko will hopefully still be here. But that's not going to happen if they do not have a livable environment. Granite mining in Mutoko consists of a lot of large-scale dynamite blasting. This has two side effects: noise pollution and dust pollution. A lot of dust is also raised by the huge trucks as they transport the blocks of granite from the mining sites for export. The effects of the air pollution might not be known or be visible for years to come. Silicosis is a long-term lung disease caused by inhaling large amounts of crystalline silica dust, usually over many years. Studies will need to be undertaken to make sure that future generations of Mutoko will not suffer from this, as has been the case in most mining communities. Further, smallholder farmers of vegetables and fruit farmers have lost out as the dust affects their plants, thus losing out in terms of produce. Houses, schools, all buildings in Mutoko are not safe from the tremors caused by the dynamite blasting. The debris from the blasting drifts into people's homes. The vibrations from the blasting and trucks passing by the roadside have also caused houses that are close to the roads to crack, putting the lives of the inhabitants to risk and living uncomfortable lives. But how is this possible when we have institutions like EMMA? EMMA has the power to fine mining companies who violate these environmental rights fundamentals. In 2016, 5 companies operating in the area were fined, paid different fines ranging from $500 to $5,000 for various offenses. Now for companies making millions, what is $5,000 to get a pass to keep violating the law? Because once they pay the fine, they go back to doing exactly what they would have been doing all along. Road infrastructure in Mutoko can be best described as non-existent. Why? Because the pre-independence roads, which were built mainly to transport agriculture or horticultural produce to the market, cannot sustain the pressure of daily large haulage trucks ferrying the granite from Mutoko. But why are these companies operating with impunity? The law is there. It is very clear what is supposed to happen. While granite mining in Mutoko, just like an economic activity, is political. Politicians own quarry mines. Others are shareholders. So the game becomes political. Because let's face it, abiding by the environmental regulations is costly. And businesses are in the business for profit, not taking care of the environment. Because when the granite is depleted, they can uproot their operations and start afresh elsewhere. But what about the people of Mutoko whose livelihoods are here, whose ancestral lands are here? Where do they go when Mutoko becomes a dust-filled pit, strewn desert ruin? Did you know that Section 73 of the Zimbabwe Constitution enshrines collective and individual environmental rights, stating that every person has the right to an environment that is not harmful to their health or well-being, and also having that environment protected for the benefit of present and future generations. It is true that there has to be a balance between development and the environment. A more sustainable way has to be found because the environment we're living in, it is not ours, it belongs to the future. And at the rate that Mutoko has been degraded environmentally, we're surely living in the future nothing but pain and suffering.